Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another World of Warships video. Now it's been a little bit of time since I've had a World of Warships video out, mostly because I don't think there's been a video worth showing, or a game worth showing. Of course these are pre-recorded and I do voice over them afterwards as I'm doing now, but I thought this one would be quite interesting. I get defeated heavily in this match, like as a team we get defeated heavily in this match, just preemptively putting it out there, but what I do is I think I play tactically very well. Which is not always the case, and I'm not in the ship that I normally am. I'm not in my King George V anymore. First of all, because I've upgraded it to the Tier 8 British battleship, the Monarch, but also I'm trying to level up my German battleship so I can get to the Gunais now, because it just seems like a fun all-out brawler ship. And you know, the Gunais now always excites me because it's good as its secondaries, because it's a German battleship, and it's also got torpedoes, which for a battleship is quite rare. You'll notice I keep looking behind me, kind of to D9 on the map, and that's because there's an enemy, well, not even an enemy, but a friendly Nuremberg who's decided to go run behind that island, kind of going away from where the point of attack is. I can understand repositioning, but I find myself quite confused as to why he keeps on. That's why he's running back behind the island, and who knows what his plan is. Like I said, we do get defeated heavily in this, but I think it's a good match to show, because I play tactically, I fight well, I think. I get over 100,000 damage, which is not always the case, and my planning is good, I think. But as you can see that I keep on looking back at the Nuremberg, because I'm really not entirely sure what he's doing there. And actually, he takes a shot at me here. Not entirely sure why.
Let's show them what we're made of.
I was gonna say something in the chat, but I don't. I just wonder what he's doing and why he's doing it. Because it's not like he's AFK. He's actively turned around from where the point of attack is. But hey ho, we let him get on with his own things. And we split about half and half through kind of who goes to A, who goes to C, Alpha and Charlie. Well, there's probably a bit more of a tendency towards Alpha here at the moment, and that's going to really cost us the game that a lot of us decide to go that way. I am quite confused why the Nuremberg didn't decide to support the flank he was on. But hey ho, it's not my decision what other players do. But I think he even eventually calls people out in the chat for being idiots or something, and so it just felt a bit counterproductive to what he was doing. I felt he could be a much bigger asset to the team had he just cracked on with the job at hand. But hey ho, so we've exchanged our first salvo, but with nothing major, just a secondary hit on a destroyer. We take a bit of hit from that Renown, and I decide that Renown needs to take some damage from me. And so I send off a returning salvo, watching out for the torpedoes to the right hand side. I can never remember if it's port, starboard, whatever you call it. And I can see there's also an enemy submarine lurking by, and that'll be something which happens a lot in this match. A lot of submarines lurking in the distance. And I think we get a good hit here on the... Oh no, we don't. The torpedoes move just slightly. You can see there to the left hand side. He's just moved. We don't have we only have one depth charge with the Bayern, unlike the King George V where we have two. So we have to be a little bit more sparing when we use the depth charges. We can't just use it every now and then. We've scored a couple of good hits, but we're under bombardment from a lot of air attack, as well as various other people nearby. I take an educated guess, or I try and look for an educated guess as to where the submarine might be, but because I've only got one depth charge, I decide to wait. I have another shot out of that Renown, because he's kind of a big target to hit in this part of the world. There is that Ranger back there, the aircraft carrier, which would be wonderful to take out. I just don't think we have the ability to do so. I do have the range, but because he's behind the island, there's no way I'm going to be able to hit him. I suddenly get very scared and think that kind of little gunboat mocked on the doors on that island is actually a ship, like a destroyer or a submarine, but it's not. I just get very confused for a second. I go after the cruiser here while also firing out at that submarine. I do believe my depth charge is hit this time. And that's not always the case. So, it's nice. It's nice when your kind of forward thinking and planning actually happens, because it's really quite hard to kill a submarine unless they're on the surface. They do normally, I've noticed, repair their flooding straight away so they don't die, because they don't have a lot of health. So it does make sense, but it can be a little bit tough sometimes to deal with them. I take a shot out of the Renown. I realise he's not really moving that much. I also go for another attempt at a submarine. He's a bit too far away, but I give it a go in case he decides to reverse back on himself. I try turn, but I'm not in a great position to avoid these Rangers torpedoes from the Ranger, the aircraft carrier. But I think I managed to kill the... Well, I say I managed to kill the planes, I don't. And turning to that way has made me have a bit of an issue with the Rio de Janeiro shots, but we manage, we survive, which is the main thing. As you can see on the map, Point Charlie has been absolutely massacred by the enemy team, and nearly all of us are out at Point Alpha, including myself, who's kind of in a really weird position just because the way that the torpedoes have... just because the way the plays happened, that's just where I've ended up. Arguably, I could be in a better spot for my team, and a lot of us could be. But we don't really retake Bravo or Charlie for the rest of the match. So we lose some points quite heavily. But I think I do well holding my own and doing some good damage. We get another good couple of shots out of the Renown, another near 10,000 damage. With only shots every 30 seconds out of the Bayern, it really is important to get the shots on target, and that's not always something I manage. I quite often misjudge speed with ships, be it either too slow or too fast, etc. I've been targeting that Renown a lot all game, because I realise he's on... certainly now I realise he's on quite low health and would like to kind of deal with him. Unfortunately, I don't think we actually get to kill him. We do get... Well, actually no, here we get a Citadel, which I've always got really surprised by, because the Renown was turning away, and the Renown, I believe, is a higher... No, it's the same tier battleship than I am. So it's not unthinkable that my ships can Citadel, but it's fairly unlikely. And that is one of, I think, 3 Citadels in this match, and Citadels are all great. You'll notice Firewolf 8503 is saying GG team all in A and all in C. There were people in C, but they died. I agree we could have perhaps split ourselves up a little better, but I went with the side I felt needed more assistance, and I still am frustrated with the enemy Nuremberg for just kind of running away at the beginning of the battle. But hey-ho, we deal with what we can. I see that there's that U-69 hiding behind the island. You can see I'm trying to get my depth charge plane away, but I don't want to hit the island, so as soon as I get the mountain kind of terrain blocking shot, I can disappear. I set off my depth charge to hopefully try and catch him unawares on the far side, because he thinks he's safe, because he's regaining his oxygen and his power before he has to go underwater again. And we do get hit there, so we get another fire, another flooding, and splash damage, but of course they tend to repair it up, because there's no other depth charges going that way at the moment, so they can quite safely do so. We're on to 50,000 damage, no kills just yet, but I hope this Königsberg is my first kill. I'm also aware that there's that ranger up there who would be wonderful to kill, but I'm not sure we'll manage it. I sent some more shots out of the Königsberg here. Lots of German ships in this battle today, myself included. We spot an enemy submarine. I do get a shot off at the Nuremberg, but not... sorry, at the Königsberg, but not enough to kill him. Someone else will take him out. In fact, the friendly Nuremberg that I've been talking about earlier, who was going the wrong way. But as you can see, we're still not doing great on points, although yet we're still not doing too badly. We're only one ship down in comparison to them. I also see that the U-69 is about to come around that corner. He'll go underwater in a second, just there. But I conclude that he's going to try come around the corner and set some torpedoes for me. So I put down a depth charge plane there to either get him to go away or to try and get a hit on. And my planning, I believe, is correct. I do actually get to knock him out here, which is quite satisfying. Not kill him, but certainly get another hit on. I think I do even try to get some shots off, but I don't shoot quite far enough ahead. So quite a few of my shots miss. So I don't get to quite kill him, but I do get to knock him down to pretty low, all things considered, which is always nice. And I don't think I see that submarine again for quite a while, so I switch over to the Aoba. I can never work out to say it. No, I don't, because that Aoba is close to death. Again, I'm in a bit of a weird position here at D2. That submarine, again, is causing some issues. I'm trying to get my next depth charge plane off, but I don't believe it hits. Even though it'd be very useful if it did. And it doesn't. I don't fire that Aoba, which is a real regret of mine, because it actually sneaks away on 429 health on that bottom left part of the screen. Or the kind of left hand side of the screen. He does eventually get killed, but it could have been something that I maybe could have fired at and killed. Although he is at 23 miles away, I'm not sure I would have managed to hit him, even with my, even if my spotter plane was off cooldown, which it's not. So actually, thinking back on it now, I couldn't have actually gone and shot him, but I certainly wanted to try because we were struggling. If you look at the points up there at the top of the screen, we're at 388 and they were at 688, and they had 2 capture points. So we were going to have to do something pretty monumental to overtake this. We're going to have to kill some ships pretty quickly and overtake some capture points. We've held Alpha pretty much the whole game, but Bravo and Charlie, I'm not sure there's going to be much luck there. I noticed there's a gate up there, but I think it's, I'm running armor piercing shells. I could have a go, but I'm not sure it's the best choice because they'll just likely over-penetrate through the ship. But it would take me 30 seconds to reload into high explosives, so I send off a salvo anyway, in the hopes that if I don't kill them I can at least do some damage. And I do get 4 over-penetrations. Had I been loaded with a high explosive I probably could have killed him, but I wasn't, and if I hadn't fired and switched over to the high explosive I wouldn't have been able to shoot at him anyway, so I took the judgment to fire anyway with my armor piercing and try to do some good damage there. And we did manage to do something. You'll notice that there's an enemy battleship looming at goal 5. There's the friendly Aoba, who I think I do actually now kill, who has been lurking there the entire time. And sadly, that I think is our only kill of the entire engagement. Despite getting 100,000 damage, a lot of it then goes into this fight with the Novorossiysk. That's kind of how I'm going to say it. It's probably not how I'm supposed to say it. I'm a bit torn because there's the New York there, as well as the Pensacola, and so I decided to try go head on to the Navarro and try get some shots off. I don't get the best shots off. Obviously, not obviously, but I've spec my Gunnites now, my Bayern even, to be like a Gunnites now secondary build. I see here that he's kind of, I think, trying to go for the ram, which I'm not particularly keen on. I'd rather stay alive if possible. So we actually end up going kind of opposite each other here, and had I played this a little better I possibly could have survived. I don't get to kill him, but we do a significant amount of damage to the Navarro here. If I managed to citadel him, that would have been great, but he is a higher tier of battleship, I believe. No, he's also level 6, so I just don't manage to get the right shots off. So I believe he does actually take us out. We don't have great firing angles either. Possibly, actually, I could have gone for the ram, and I actually block off the torpedoes here from the friendly submarine, the cachalot. I get taken out by the Navarro, and the cachalot takes out the Navarro. So kind of a 1v1 fight there. But as you can see, they've taken all 3 capture points. They're up to 910 points. We're at 370. Our friendly submarine will do some good work, but it won't be able to take out it won't be able to do everything, and the Ranger here will take out the gate, but in response will also lose will lose itself, because it's going to have a great deal of ships, a great deal of torpedoes fired at itself, And one submarine is not really enough to take out 3 places by itself, especially when he's not really close enough to any of the capture points to be able to slow down time enough. So unfortunately it does come as a loss, but we have 100,000 damage, bit over, 1 citadel, 1 destroyed, and quite a few depth charge hits, which I was quite happy by, because trying to work that out sometimes can be a little bit tough. So in general I was pretty happy with that. But 86 secondary hits, 48 mains hits, still not bad at all. Not bad in the slightest. So yeah, not bad at all. And actually if we go to the team score, we end up being second in the entire fight. In fact, the only person to get over 1,000 XP on the losing team, myself and Salty Main DD here in the Repulse, everyone else below 700 XP. So I was pretty happy with my performance. Even though we were on the losing side, I managed to be not far off kind of the middle of the table of the winning side as well. So not bad in the slightest. By the way, I only noticed that Cachalot only got 3 experience that entire game. I wonder what he was doing. Potentially AFK. And just took out some AA. Or did some AA damage to something. And the enemy number, to his credit, does actually take out a ship. And doesn't do too bad. Ends up in the middle of the table. But I did still wonder quite what he was doing at the time. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. We also get to see some of the detail reports. So most of my damage went against the Navarro there, as you can see, nearly 47,000, and a great deal against the Renown as well. And everyone else took their fair share. Not a bad amount of credits. I'm trying to save up credits for the Gunneys now, and also for a submarine, because I would like to try out the submarine class, but I don't have any of the correct tech trees in the correct area, so hey ho. I'm sure we'll get a submarine video fairly soon indeed, because I like the submarines, they're fun, and there is also actually a submarine operation, a World Warships operation, which would be fun to do. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye bye.